I think that's kind of what's driving us a little bit. Like, we're not going to run from those expectations. We're not going to show up to a meeting and Jay's going to say, oh, they pick y'all last or anything like that. No, he's not going to sit up there and lie to us. But he's going to say, yeah, we're picked to go all the way. But it's how we show up every day, every game, every practice. Do we show up as the team that's supposed to go all the way, or do we show up as the team that deserves to go all the way? So that's really how we're taking it day to day.
This fall, you were talking about how last season you swung at too many balls last year. So
right.
How have you changed your approach, and what have you kind of worked on at the plate?
I'd say the biggest thing with working on that is really just live at bats, just facing pitchers. There's no way to really stop yourself from swinging at pitches rather than seeing them. You got to see what pitches work for you, and that's what I've been going through. That's the process from the fall and to these little spring scrimmages. So I've been kind of working on that, getting that right.
When you think of the transformation of this team from when you were a freshman, does it kind of boggle your mind wow? I mean, just the talent level and just.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry. But definitely what we've built here in the past 3 years, and I've been a part of it all 3 years, it's crazy to just sit back and kind of look around the locker room like everybody in this locker room looks different than how it did freshman year when I walked in. I was tiny compared. You see Bear, Jared Jones, and Ethan Fry. You see them walk into the locker room, I'm like, dude, that's not how I looked when I walked in, put my glove on and go to first. But, yeah, I mean, it definitely boosts our confidence. We have the right guys in our dugout, so it's a good feeling.
Jones is a name that people are going to hear a lot of. I mean, just kind of elaborate on him and where he's at right now at this point, already.
Yeah, I mean, hidden-wise, dude, it's him with the bat's dangerous. So every time he goes up there, every time he's about to swing, your heart just tenses up a little bit just because he's that strong. He's one of the strongest people I've ever met. But and then I like to help him at first base because whether he plays first base or whether he catches or DHs, it's always good to get that bat on the field any way possible. So whatever I can do to help him at first, I love to do it. He's been getting way better fielding-wise, moving around cleanly. He's not moving around like a big old dude anymore. He's moving his glove good. I'm teaching him a few things, so it's going good.
And Jay's talked a little bit about that, about the guys hitting you in the face with the ball this year, you maybe not having to make as many big plays. What do you see defensively, the improvements?
Oh, yeah, that's an everyday thing. When we take a lot of ground balls every day. We're actually going to take ground balls today for a little bit. But that's the biggest thing, following their throws and pretty much hitting me. If it's not in the chest, it's literally around this vicinity every time, every play, on the run, everything like that. So that definitely takes a load off the first base position. So it kind of allows, it opens up the lineup a whole bunch to not have to press on making a whole lot of plays at first because they're kind of just making it easy for us.
Tell us about the decision-making that you had, this offseason about first or outfield, kind of where you projected, just your thoughts on it. I don't think we've talked to you about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to do anything to help the team win, whether that be running around in outfield or staying at first base. I'm not worried about where I'm projected in the future or anything like that. It's the right now for me. I don't have a ring in any of my years of playing baseball, so that's what I'm chasing after this year. So that's what's most important.
Was your knee nagging you last year a bit?
Yeah, I sprained my PCL pretty early in the season, actually, and it never really healed, at the season, during the season, never really healed. So, yeah, I was kind of limping around, moving station to station a little bit, which kind of hindered my game, but it's all healthy now.
Do you kind of feel like you've now got the flexibility and maybe the freedom that you did your first year?
Right, yeah. I mean, my body is the healthiest it's been. Even freshman year, I was dealing with some elbow issues. I don't know if y'all remember going into the season, but now everything's feeling right, knock on wood, so going into the season pretty healthy.
Will you be happy to not have to make so many spectacular plays? I mean, the first couple of years are like a hockey goal a lot of times
right.
in games.
I mean, I just feel like it's my way to contribute to the team. If I'm sitting over there, just catching balls at my face, it's kind of boring. But, if If I'm diving, everything like that, picking balls, I feel like that's something that I'm doing to contribute to the team's success. But again, I'm willing to do anything for us.
Tell me a little bit about Riley as a teammate. For him to get his shot after kind of what he was doing for you all last year. I'm sure he's excited. Y'all are excited for him.
Right. I mean, Riley, just his personality, the way his demeanor, the way he carries himself is awesome. Y'all heard him up here a little earlier giggling. That's him. Like, that's what he does every day. You can't tell if he's having a bad day or anything like that. And that's really what you need out of a starter, especially. And all three guys that are supposed to start this weekend have that demeanor in their own special way. But the way Riley shows up every day and works his tail off, it's just, I respect it. And he definitely earned what he has this weekend.
What improvements have you seen from Riley that sort of allows him to be a starter for you guys on Saturday?
Right. I faced him, obviously, a bunch this preseason, and he just looks different up there. It's kind of, he switches up his arm slots every now and then, switches up his timing. He's not easy to kind of tunnel, and that's really what you look for in a pitcher. If you can tunnel pitches, then they're easy to hit. He's definitely changed a bunch about the way he pitches, and that's very effective for him. So that's what he's been working on.
Sorry, what about Chase? What has made him so good as a freshman coming in here and earning that spot?
I'd say besides the fact that he threw his 99, it's the way he kind of attacks every hitter. It's like, it doesn't matter if he's facing Dylan Cruz, Tommy White, Jared Jones, anybody in that lineup, he goes right at you with his fastball, his slider. And the way the ball moves, I don't want to give any hints to Western Michigan, but the way that ball moves, it's why he's pretty effective.
What would you say has given you kind of the toughest at-bats during, I guess, the spring and the fall?
Let me think. Well, besides during the fall, I said Grant was giving me a little trouble. But I'd say the way Paul kind of goes up there, and I wouldn't even say it's the way he pitches. I'd say it's just his demeanor up there. It's just, like he looks mad at you 24/7. When you're in the box, however many pitches you're in there, he's mad. He's all riled up, everything like that. So I'd say he was one of my toughest.
Do you remember him striking you out as a freshman, second game?
I do, yeah. And I remember I was on deck, and we were down by 2. And Dylan, was facing. I was watching him light up the scoreboard. I was like, dude, I don't want to hit against this dude. And then Dylan I think he got to 2 strikes. So I'm like, okay, maybe I won't have to face him. Then, of course, Dylan hits a home run. So I'm walking up there like, oh, not only do I have to hit, we're only down by 1 now. So, they expect me to do something. I think it was like 3 pitches. Dude, I didn't even see him. It was over. But, yeah, I remember that. Definitely.
How do you see that for most of the pitchers? Like, do you see an improvement from what Wes has been able to kind of do, unlock with them? Are you seeing that across the board? Yeah, definitely. It's easy to see the confidence they have in all their pitches. Like last weekend, I faced Ty a couple times, and I got to him the first time, but I came back the second at bat, and I got to the same count. And if it was Ty from last year, I would have got the fastball I was sitting that count. But then he goes back-to-back changeups on me, and the count's 2-2 now. Then he goes 97 on my hands, and he strikes me out. That's just him having confidence now in that curveball he has, that changeup he has, which is disgusting. But that's what Coach Wes Johnson has brought to these pitchers, that confidence that they can throw anything in any count, no matter what.
Trey, you've seen what playing the last 2 years in this conference, which means you're playing against the best teams in the country, what the best teams look like. What do you see in your team that looks like those teams that you've played against?
Yeah, I'd say we stack up pretty good right now. Whether it be hitting-wise, I feel like we had it last year. We kind of fell off a little bit defensively, whether it be on the mound or in the field. We struggled a lot in the field, and I feel like we cleaned that up in the preseason. Now we'll see when the real bullets start flying this weekend, but I feel like we stack up pretty good with what I've seen the past couple of years in the SEC. Yeah.
You played with Gavin his first year when he hit 19 home runs. He had
Right.
some injuries and stuff last year, had an eye procedure. You think he could be closer to what he was 2 years ago this year with you guys? Or what do you see out of him?
Yeah, it's just the way that he shows up, too, the way he shows up every day, and you can't tell if he's had a bad day or a good day. Obviously, he's been going through a little bit in the preseason, but that hasn't stopped him from being the leader he is, the captain he is, the motivator in the locker room. And the way he's been hitting the ball recently, I mean, he almost hit 2 home runs in the scrimmage the other day. So, yeah, I feel like Gavin's going to be back to Gavin, definitely.
You touched on Gavin, but can you elaborate on Cade Beloso and his leadership on this team and some of those other guys?
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at mentally without having Cade in my corner. He really didn't have to take me under his wing like he did, but I appreciate him for it every day. And the way I can just lean on him, whether I'm having a good or bad day, we have a lot of conversations really at first because it's really just me and him over there. The other 2 are catchers. So we talk a lot. We talk a lot about whatever, and he's always there to help me. He's always been the past 2 years, so I appreciate him for it.
The tone that Dylan sets for this team, and even Paul to that degree, you get 2 guys at the top
Right.
that are kind of, I think, really setting the tone for all of you. Is that true? Does it make it easy to fall in line when the best are doing it the right way?
Definitely. I mean, when you show up to the field and Dylan Cruz is taking early BP, why are you not taking early BP sort of thing? Or I don't know how it is on the pitcher side, but I'm sure it's the same way. Like Paul's in there working out before or stretching before his pen, why are you not doing it sort of thing. So that's kind of what those 2 guys bring to us in the locker room. Like they're up there, obviously projected, but they still show up every day and do things the right way. So we're in no place to not do the same thing sort of thing.
Do you think Jay's more relaxed?
I wouldn't say more relaxed. I wouldn't use that word, but I definitely say more confident. I'd say he feels like because he's done the work in the preseason to get the right guys in the locker room, and he sees how it's kind of like a players-driven team, really. Like we have team meetings, everything like that. Like it's not all up to him to get something going, and he likes that. You can see he actually peeked into one of our meetings the other day, and he left with a little smirk on his face, sort of thing. So, yeah, I say he's a little more confident.
Feels different?
Definitely, yeah.
How have you enjoyed NIL in that experience so far? And is it kind of getting you ready for professional baseball in a sense?
I'd say, yeah, because it's showing me a side of baseball that I wouldn't have been exposed to if it wasn't obviously a thing. Really, I had to learn how to do taxes and everything like that. I had no idea how to do that. They should teach you that in school, definitely, but I had no clue how to deal with that. But now, because of NIL, I'd had to figure it out pretty much. And I'd say it definitely helps in that way. It also helps players kind of show their personality off the field because fans kind of see us as in our sport, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, they just see that person. But when you're out there endorsing brands that kind of speak, like say who you are, I feel like that shows them a different side of us.
What's the feeling when you drive by one of your billboards and you look up and
Oh, that looks cool. Or when somebody sends it to you in a picture when they're driving on the interstate with my hair all over the place. Yeah, that looked pretty cool. Good. Thank you.
Thanks, Trey.